Alright, a while back on Ed T1138's Top 3 Tuesday, there was a question, what are the top 3 games that you are wanting? And my top 3 were, this was one of them. And I got it, and I found it much cheaper than I expected to. And this actually isn't the Japanese version, which, I don't know, to me, living in Japan, that's actually a cool thing. It's like exotic. Ooh, it's got English. So, Andro Dunas, this was MVS and AAS only. They didn't have it for the Neo Geo CD. The shooters, or any of the games really, as you may know, are generally much cheaper on the Neo Geo CD. And they're exactly the same games, but the loading times are slow for the most part. Not that I'm really bothered by that, but I love the AES games because they're huge. This is massive. Oh, it's great. So one more shooter. I now have 2 shooters. I also have Ghost Pilots for the AES. 34 megs. So this isn't graphically one of the more impressive games, but it is the space battle of the century, so that should count for something. Really excited to find this. I had been looking at a loose cart for the longest time, and they wanted $200 for it, and I just couldn't justify that, especially a loose cart. What do you... no. And it was really hard to find online, unless it was really ridiculously expensive, and then I just happened to see it in a game store one day for a really reasonable price. I don't want to say the price, but it was much cheaper than the loose cart that I just mentioned, so about half as much. Okay, so I basically just said the price. And really excited to have this. I'm even keeping it in the plastic because this was one of my holy grails, I guess people like to say that. I'm just going to check this English. Enter a world of vivid color, imagination, and space fantasy. Sounds like a hentai game. A mission to deceive enemy guard in this... in this bold new frontier. Pivot. The enemy... No, I can't read. Pilot. The awesome space fighters through the treacherous corridors of space. The newly developed fighter is equipped with multiple armament configurations that can be powered up 4 times, 3-way, and lasers are included in this arsenal and is enough to blow the enemies into moon dust. This horizontal scrolling space shoot them up. Yes! This is a horizontal space shoot them up. Wow. Is made for 2-player simultaneous play. Spectacular graphics and digital stereo sound add to the attraction. The adventure of a lifetime. The name of the game is Andro Dunas. I want this job. Someone please hire me to write this. I'll even do bad English if you want. This is a shoot them up, and very happy to have it in my collection. It has the manual and stuff, but I'm too lazy to open it up. I guess I'll open it, fine. Shh. Why? Okay. Here we go. I think I can do it fairly quickly. Oh, that was pretty good. So, there we go. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the Japanese version of this, I'm guessing, might not have much Japanese on it anyway, but since my AES is Japanese, I wonder if, and it's not modded in any way, if this stuff will display any Japanese text. I can't remember how that stuff works. Or actually, I'm not very knowledgeable about Neo Geo stuff. Yes, it's got a little comic. Well, I'm not going to read all this, don't worry. But I think that's pretty cool. Codename Yellow Cherry. And Red Fox. I love manuals, and now they're getting harder and harder to... No, they're becoming more scarce or rare in these days in the new games, so... would have been nice if it were color, but hey, I like the artwork a lot. That's really neat. So yeah, and then here's the cart. So, yoo-hoo, I got it. I'm very happy to have that in my collection. And this one was the one that I wanted the second most of everything, so pretty cool. The one I wanted the third most, what? You're still going? I also got, what? This is a treasure game. It's Bangai-o for the N64. And I had said, I love the N64, but there really aren't that many games that are just awesome, right? I kept saying great games, great games. I hate it when I repeat myself that way. But, and I'm not like a massive Bangai-o fan, but I'm starting to get into it more. And I just love that this game came out on the N64. So I wanted it, but it's pretty expensive and a bit rare. And what I did was I got the box and the manual online, and then I found the cartridge separately. So yeah, and then I did that, and I was excited because I got a pretty decent deal. And then I just found it in a store, just randomly sitting there, and it was a good price. So I bought that, and then I'm going to use the other one for trade. And then I went to the same store the other day, and they had it again. So maybe it's not so rare after all, but I never see it until recently. Now that I've got it, I see it everywhere. It's kind of annoying. Is that how these things work when you become a game collector? Pretty cool art on this one. And this is one of the best games, I would say, on the N64. And it's really easy to play Japanese games, by the way, on American at least, an NTSC N64, so you might want to look into that. Right, okay, I just wanted to show that. So now I just have one left from that video that I made, which is rendering Ranger for the Super Famicom, and that thing is just ridiculously expensive. Upwards of more than $500 for a boxed copy, and I've seen a loose copy for around $400. So, yeah, I might not ever be getting that. But the thing about collecting expensive games is, as long as the market doesn't completely crash, which could happen, people might realize that these things aren't really worth that much, you can always resell them. So, I mean, it's not like it's a total waste of money. It's kind of like investing. If you take good care of the stuff, that's the thing, there's a liability. But anyway, I want that game and I can't find it anywhere. But I've got these two, and they look very nice on my shelf, and they're both fun to play. So, bye-bye.